Utah has one of the toughest home courts in the NBA. The Rockets offense failed to launch Thursday, posting record lows. Tonight it's a test of character as the Rockets face the Jazz. Game 4, next on FSN Houston.
From Salt Lake City, FSN Houston presents the NBA playoffs. And tonight it's Game 4 of the first round series between the Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell, along with Clyde Drexler and Matt Bullard. Good to have you with us here on Game 4. The Rockets held serve in Houston, winning the first two. And then the Utah Jazz came back with a vengeance in Game 3. Now it's up to the Houston bench to see if they can get something going here tonight, because the Utah bench outscored Houston 33-0 in Game 3. It just hasn't been going in for Luther Head, Juwan Howard. You don't expect much from Mutombo, but those two, Head and Howard, have got to produce for the Houston Rockets. Also, we need a more aggressive T-Mac. Tracy McGrady, Clyde, has got to start driving to the basket. He can't settle for jump shots.
But what he did in the first game was he drove and he dished to open teammates, but they were making shots. Here he is again. When he's got Derek Fisher, he's obviously got an advantage. When he drives to the basket, they've had no answer. But when he drives and dishes, guys in the first two games were making shots. Rafer, here with Chuck Hayes, the same thing. I don't think he has a problem with that, but when they're struggling from the field, he has to find a way to do more of this. Taking it to his own hands, dribbling in transition, stopping and popping, doing more things to add a little bit of versatility to his attack.
And Matt, it's time now for the Toyota keys to the game.
Well, the first key, turnovers. The Rockets had 19 turnovers last game. Yao, T-Mac, and Rafer combined for 17. Way too many. Key number 2, score. I don't care how good your defense is, you got to be able to score to win a playoff game. And then number 3, Clyde, this was you today. Play with heart. You can analyze, overanalyze, throw it all out the window, just come out and play your game.
Well, right you are. The Rockets need to show that aggression. Come out here, forget about the crowd, and try to take us with a victory back to Houston. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a second here on FSN Houston.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Game 4 getting ready to come your way on FSN Houston here tonight. Southwest Airlines starting lineups. The Houston Rockets will be Shane Battier, Chuck Hayes, Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Rafer Alston. For the Utah Jazz, Andre Rico, Carlos Boozer, Mehmet Okur, Derek Fisher, and Darren Williams. Well, we've heard about the intangibles. How about being Mr. Tangible tonight for Houston? He's been hitting some timely threes and playing good defense. The Rockets are going to need Shane and everybody else to get a here tonight. Game 4 coming up next on FSN Houston. Another noisy arena in Salt Lake City tonight. Let's go courtside. Bart Innes.
All right, thanks, Bill. Our quote of the game tonight has to do with Matt's number 1 key to the game. Those 19 turnovers, they were mainly the byproduct of Utah's unbelievable defensive energy. And that's the one thing the Rockets are looking for again tonight. Shane Battier, and our guy quote of the game, talking about Jazz defensive energy.
Well, the Jazz did a much better job of getting up into us in Game 3, and we did not react well. And a lot of our turnovers was careless ball handling mistakes. We weren't strong with the ball. We didn't swoop through, create space. And when you don't do that against a team that's physical and is up into you, it's going to lead to turnovers.
And they're going to have to match that energy tonight, Bill, and they need to do it for 48 minutes.
Well, they do, Martin. We come into this series. There are 16 teams in the NBA playoffs right now, and the Rockets are number 15 in scoring at 83 points a game, and the Jazz are 16th in scoring at 82 points a game. So it has been a defensive series. Rafer Alston, right off the bat, misses a 3. The rebound tipped to Kirilenko.
Clyde, you think that was the shot they wanted right off the bat?
Not the shot you want to start the game off with, man. Especially when you've been struggling from three-point land. A struggling period.
Steal by Rafer Alston. He has led the Rockets in that category all season long and finished the season number 12 in the NBA in steals as he gets one here. McGrady back outside to Rafer, gets it right back, posting up. Yao Ming takes it into the paint. He's fouled by Mehmet Okur on the turnaround before the block shot. The officials tonight are Eddie F. Rush, Scott Foster, and Bill Kennedy. Rush, Foster, and Kennedy, the officials.
I like the way the Rockets got the ball inside. Their offensive play had broken down. So instead of trying to create out the dribble, they threw it to Yao and let him go to work. Yao knocks down his first free throw, but also one foul on Okur. So that's a great thing to start off. That's the way they should have started off the first possession.
And you got to continue with this. Okur cannot guard Yao on the low post. He may stop him every now and then, but the percentages are surely in Yao's favor.
Yao Ming now is 37 of 41 from the free throw line. He leads everybody in the NBA playoffs in attempts and makes. And that's good for 90%, fellas. He's only missed 4 out of 41 attempts. Clyde Boozer, leading scorer for Utah. And he missed that high arching jump shot that he's been making with regularity. Yao's got the position he wants. He's on Boozer. And he missed it. Darren Williams averaging 8 assists a game. And a steal by Rafer and a foul on Rafer.
Well, Yao again had the ball deep. He needs to take his time when he's that deep. He rushed that shot, and he's got to know that he's got the advantage when he's got the ball 3 feet from the basket.
Absolutely. He never squared his shoulder to the basket. Take a little bit more time, use more patience, but give him a little bit better spacing.
Boozer taking it in with the left hand. And he'd been strictly a right-handed player. That shot would have been blocked by Yao Ming, but he put it up with the left hand. That was a nifty move. All right, McGrady chased on the double team outside as they have been doing. They go to Yao again on the post up. Okur behind him. Yao turns with the jump hook in rhythm.
In rhythm. That's his shot. He shot it going forward instead of leaning backwards. That's the key.
Yeah, Darren Williams got free from Rafer Alston for an easy basket underneath. So far in this series, Williams averaging 13 points, 8 assists a game. McGrady passes on the 3 over to Alston again. They're looking for Yao to get posted up. Okur's got him a little out of his comfort zone. Yao makes it anyway. The Shanghai Shake for 2.
Good patience, good execution by the Rockets so far in this game. Yao with all 6 points.
Karolinko into Boozer. Boozer arches it up and in.
Just like the Rockets are going inside the Yao, the Jazz are taking it right inside too. The Rockets defense has got to protect that paint.
No secrets, Matt. No secrets. You talk about making adjustments from game to game, but there's still guys you can't stop. There's a double team, and Yao throws it away now. He accounted for 8 turnovers by himself in Game 3, and he can't have 8 turnovers again tonight.
No, but what happened is Rafer's defender is right in his lap. There's no room to operate. Rafer's got to give the pass. You know, they're really not guarding Rafer, and it's hurting Yao.
More spacing, huh?
Absolutely. Better spacing.
Fisher on the perimeter. In and out. Okur with a rebound. And a foul on Chuck Hayes. So Mehmet Okur will go to the free throw line. Okur was the second leading scorer for the Utah Jazz this season, but he has really struggled in these playoffs. He has hit only 6 of 35 shots for 17% from the field, but he's had to guard Yao Ming. And that has taken a little of his offense away from him.
Well, when you're pushing against Yao for 48 minutes, it feels like you're pushing against a brick wall, and that will wear out your legs. And Mehmet Okur is an outside jump shooter. You've got to have your legs to make those outside shots.
Boozer misses. Tipped up, and Hayes has it. The Jazz are
Number 14 in 16 teams in the playoffs in free throw shooting, only 67% in the first 3 games. Brady. Rafer taking it inside, got cut off by Darren Williams. 7 on the shot clock. It's McGrady time. Missed it. And a foul on Hayes, his second.
When the Rockets offense breaks down, I don't think that Tracy McGrady's going to be able to create an outside shot. Twice the Rockets have gone straight into Yao and let him score. I think that's the key. When the offense breaks down, get it to Yao.
Absolutely, but if you're going to give it to McGrady, let him be the facilitator all night long. That's his role.
A clear inside for 2. Jazz up to a 3-point lead, and Jeff Van Gundy wants a timeout. Rockets defense looks a little confused in the early going, and the Jazz lead by 3. Jazz up over Yao Ming 9-6.
Let's take a look at Yao's first 2 buckets that he's made. When the offense is broken down, they get the ball inside. I like the way Yao forced the action inside, got fouled, and then watch how Rafer brings his man. See, Darren Williams is able to affect that when Rafer goes to the corner. What Rafer needs to do is cut and get out of the way and let Yao have some space to go to the baseline. And here it is again. Tough shot over Okur, good defense. But after you make a couple easy ones, Clyde, then your jump shot goes down.
A lot easier. I tell you what, spacing is going to be the key. Since they're not going to guard Rafer, he's got to cut through the lane to give Yao some operating room.
Points in the paint already. That's all of Boozer and Okur, 8-0. McGrady has it, and he's picked up on the double team as he circles again and throws it away. It's touched by one of the Jazz. And Tracy McGrady has taken 1 shot. That was as the shot clock was going down, but he hasn't been a factor offensively yet. 11 seconds on the shot clock for the Rockets. Now turns, fires, short.
Fading away on that.
Well, the Jazz are doing a great job of flooding the paint.
Fisher with a miss.
They have 2 or 3 defenders in the paint, and they're not going to give the Rockets much in the paint. They're going to make them beat them from the outside.
Okur knocks it away. Fisher all the way to the basket, and he creates a foul by leaning in to Tracy McGrady. That was a good heady play by Fisher.
Well, to follow up on what you're talking about, Clyde, the Rockets shooters are going to have to start hitting some shots, or that defense is just going to be tight like you were talking about. So the only way to get them out of the paint is to make some shots.
Got to make shots. And there's the veteran, Derek Fisher, using his body to create an opportunity at the free throw line. Sometimes you got to force the action, and that was a perfect example of a veteran player knowing what to do at the right time.
Derek Fisher is number 2 among active players in career three-pointers made. He's number 7 in career playoff games for active players with 120. And he's number 5 in three-point percentage among active players, 43%. Those were with the Lakers when he won 3 championship rings with L.A. Brady to Yao. Yao turns inside. Foul is called before the traveling. No. The traveling was called on Yao. So Eddie F. Rush overruled Scott Foster.
Take a look at Yao's feet.
Well, there was a reason he was traveling.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact, a lot of shuffling of the feet.
Got 2 guys hanging on him.
Well, the official closest to the play called a foul. And the official outside, Eddie F. Rush, overruled him and said he was traveling before the foul. So now the Rockets have been stuck on 6 points for about the last 2.5 minutes. Boozer. Short.
the jumper doesn't look on like it has been the first couple of games. There's Rafer pulling up and shooting. A quick shot. That's what the Rockets need to do. Don't let them set up defensively.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Rockets have been pushing that basketball up the court, trying to score before the defense gets set. That's a change in this game.
Call that early transition offense. They got to exploit that because they're not doing much in the half-court set.
Good catch by Fisher. Shot clock down to 4 seconds, down to 3. Darren Williams with a turnaround over Rafer Alston. Boy, this young second-year guard out of Illinois, he played with Luther Head and D. Brown, and on that Illinois team that lost to North Carolina, he's having a heck of a series. Double team on McGrady and not letting him breathe. There's the man that's open, Battier. Takes it through the lane, lays it up and in.
That's a good job by Shane. He didn't catch it clean. Instead of forcing up a bad shot, he created a good one for himself.
Steal by Rafer, his second of the game. Does a 360. Got Kirilenko. No look pass to McGrady for 2. And the Rockets have scored back-to-back buckets. And it's a 13-12 Jazz lead.
First time Tracy McGrady has touched the ball inside the paint in this game.
And see, all you got to do is post Tracy McGrady. He's a triple threat player. Use him in every facet of the game. You can't just make him an outside shooter.
Boozer. And the charge is called on Boozer. Shane Battier did a great job of getting the charge, as he always does. Probably the best in the NBA at doing this.
Without question, he will pick up more charges than any player in the league because his help side defense, he anticipates so well. So he's there for the charge.
All right, the Rockets have scored 4 points in a row as McGrady takes it inside, back out again to Battier. Looking for Yao Ming. Okur has been good at pushing Yao out just a little out of his comfort zone. Oh, good ball movement to Alston. He's wide open, and he hits a 3. A wide open 3, not a contested 3.
If Rafer makes that shot, the Rockets have an excellent chance of winning this game.
Rockets have scored 7 points in a row. And a blocking foul on Yao Ming as Fisher ran right into the Great Wall. And the wall did not tumble down.
And Derek Fisher looks like he hurt his shoulder.
I don't know. Here's Fisher coming off the curl. Runs right into Yao. Hey, let me tell you something. That hurts. Right in Yao's thigh.
Well, that was... Yao really didn't move very much, did he?
He didn't move much. Fisher hit him and fell. Sometimes, you know, Fisher's a heads-up veteran. He knows how to get those calls. He runs into the big guys and then flops. But he actually got hit on that one.
Fisher shooting 46% from the field, and he's made both of his free throw attempts in this series.
So, Clyde, what's Yao supposed to do on that play? Get out of the way?
No, that's just a bad call by the official.
I think if you're a defender, you got to have the right to occupy that space.
He got to command his space. If you can't command your space in this league, you cannot compete. Yao did a good job of maintaining his position, but the official was looking at Fisher, who did a great job of flopping on the play. Not good. It was good.
Well, he did play in L.A. for a while, so maybe he got some acting lessons.
Jaron Collins has checked in to give up some fouls on Yao Ming now.
And Collins has been very effective playing some one-on-one D.
Hayes taking it back outside. Battier extra pass to Rafer. Rafer with the jumper. Now, he didn't settle for the 3.
Didn't settle for it. Got it within his rhythm. Rafer Alston is off to a great start for the Rockets with 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Rockets with their biggest lead of the game. Almost a steal by Rafer. Boozer picked up on the outside, and he misses the shot. And Yao Ming with a rebound. Here come the Rockets now shooting 64%. Can you believe it? Tracy to the basket. Missed the layup. Williams off to the races. Rockets do a good job of getting back on transition. Rockets led the NBA in transition defense this season. And another steal by Rafer.
Rafer's got those quick hands, and he's using them today.
Well, he's using his defense to get himself some offense, too.
That's what you wanted. McGrady posting up, you got your wish.
Absolutely. They have no answer. They got Karolinko on him, who's a better defender because of his length, but he's too quick off the dribble for Karolinko to guard it.
Now we go to the benches. Harpering and Garicek checking in. Dikembe Mutombo coming in for Yao Ming.
Now the Rockets' production cannot drop off when Yao sits down. The Utah bench has been much more effective in this series. The Rockets have to match their intensity.
They don't have to double Mutombo, though, Matt.
Someone else is going to have to pick up the scoring.
Shot from the outside. The Rockets never got into anything on that possession. Rockets up by 3. 3.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Jaron Collins from the outside. Gordon Garicek. Carlos Boozer. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 4. Boozer. Air ball. All right, the Rockets have made 5 consecutive stops. Back outside to Rafer again. Shane Battier takes it to the middle with a jump hook, and he is creating his own shot tonight. That's 2 in a row for Shane. And the Rockets are now leading it 19-14.
I like what Shane did there. He didn't settle for the outside shot. He attacked the basket.
Matt Harpering misses from the outside. The rebound to Hayes. 2:38, 2:37 left to play in the first quarter. McGrady turns the corner. Rafer's wide open. In and out. Tough luck shot. And a loose ball foul on Dikembe Mutombo. So we have a timeout on the court. 2:29 left to play in the first quarter. The Rockets currently in the middle of an 11-1 run.
2:29 left in the first. Let's go back over to Bill, Matt, and Clyde.
All right, thank you, Bart. The Rockets right now shooting 53% from the field. Luther Head has checked into the game along with John Lucas III. So it'll be Lucas, Luther Head, Mutombo, and T-Mac and Hayes. What are the Rockets doing, Matt, to get better looks tonight?
Well, Rafer has done an excellent job of picking up the pace. He's been pushing the basketball in transition. They're trying to get some baskets against the defense when it's not set. He's also had a couple nice drives to the basket and knocked down a 3. Now, John Lucas, when he comes in, expect John to do the same thing. He's very, very quick, but he's got to have the rest of his teammates running with him on the break.
Absolutely. And John Lucas getting his first taste of playoff action. I know he's pretty excited right now. On the road in a hostile environment. What a great place to start.
Look at Millsap. That rookie out of Louisiana Tech is having one whale of a season and series. Gordon Garicek, baseline jumper. He misses, and a loose ball foul is called on Chuck Hayes, and that's, nope, it's going to be on T-Mac. Tracy McGrady with his second foul of the game.
So now Jeff Van Gundy's got to make another decision. What's he going to do with T-Mac with 2 fouls? Normally he would let him play through the first quarter. Looks like Shane Battier is going to check in for him now, but now Yao has to come back because when T-Mac goes out, you got to have one of the 2 big guys on the court.
Yeah, because the bench has not been giving you much, so you can't afford not to have Yao or Tracy on the court at the same time.
Howard, Yao, and Battier coming in for Jeff Van Gundy. T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, only 1 for 4 in the first 10 minutes, and he will sit down.
He only touched the ball inside the paint once.
Jaron Collins will be shooting the free throws. The Jazz still have a foul to give before the Rockets can get into the bonus. Fisher matched up with Lucas. Luther Head thought about it, got up on his tiptoes, did not travel.
Oh, the crowd. The crowd is a big factor.
The crowd talked Kennedy into it. That pass had already been. This is the worst I have seen yet.
Take a look at his feet.
No, you can't see him.
We didn't see if they came off. Now, see that official right there? He's saying that they were down. Bill Kennedy on the outside, he said that he traveled.
After the crowd called it. Millsap taking it in. Harpering with the rebound to Garicek. It has not touched the rim. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Garicek, pressured by Howard, has to take a bad shot, and it went in.
5-point run by the Jazz.
And the Rockets defense has been unable to rebound the basketball on the defensive end. The second chance points are killers.
Good catch by Lucas. I thought it was in my lap. Lucas lost the ball. Yao got it back to him, and he did not get it off in time. Settle down, Rockets.
Jeff Van Gundy is saying, poise. We need some poise. Look at that.
Relax. They're rushing everything.
The energy in this building gets you playing at a frantic pace. In the playoffs, you got to learn how to calm yourself down.
Harpering to the middle of the middle. Look at Mills. That's Collins that time. 5 offensive rebounds for the Jazz. Harpering. Lost it almost. Got it back. Giricek missed the 3, and Yao with a rebound. Game tied at 19. Luther Head really struggling this series, trying to find some offense. He's only 2 for 16 in the first 3 games.
1 for 12 from the three-point line, and we know he can shoot the ball.
Yao going across the middle. Nice soft touch by Yao Ming. And after scoring 6 early points, he comes up with 2. So an 8-point quarter for Yao Ming. 20 seconds left to play in the first. Difference of about 1 second, shot clock, game clock. Down to 6, down to 5. Fisher. High arching shot. Rebound inside. Yao with a block. Quickly to Luther Head, and a blocking foul. Oh, that's big. Well, they had a foul to give. So that's okay. It's not as big as I thought.
But it is the correct call because you have to give the offensive player a chance to catch the ball and turn around. Luther Head had no chance, even though Giricek was there. That's the correct call.
And the quarter is over. Yao Ming scoring 8. Rafer Alston with 7. And the Rockets lead it after the first 12 minutes, 21-19. Rockets win the first quarter, 21-19. Here is our Panda Express upcoming schedule. We'll be back in Houston Monday night, 7 o'clock on FSN Houston, 7 p.m. Monday night. Thursday, May 3rd in Utah, if needed, and Saturday, May 5th in Houston, if needed. Well, to Golden State last night smacked the Warriors and leads that series 2-1. This one being played, of course, right now. The Spurs defeated the Denver Nuggets tonight in Denver to take charge 2-1. And the Suns leading the Lakers also, but the Lakers won Game 3.
It's a very entertaining series. This one right here is the most highly contested.
Well, 4 and 5 are so evenly matched. That's normally the best series in the first round of the playoffs.
Take a look at the shooting percentage. The Rockets doing an excellent job of keeping their poise shooting the basketball.
And yet they're up by only 2 points because tonight the Jazz have been to the free throw line 7 more times. So the Jazz with the free throw advantage over Houston.
And the Jazz also on the offensive boards with 5 second chance points.
Millsap inside the 2. Paul Millsap. He and Harpering have really been a difference.
Yeah, they come off the bench with a lot of energy, Bill, and they make it happen for the Jazz.
And add Giricek to that list, too.
Yao inside for 2. Boy, that's as clear a shot, easy a shot as he's had in this series. And Yao Ming with 10 points. He's the first player in double figures. Rockets maintain the 2-point lead. A lot of back-picking in that lane by the Jazz. Giricek draws the foul. Luther Head jumped in the air.
You know, I still maintain a big dose of Yao Ming on the low post with the proper spacing gives the Jazz all they can handle.
And on defense, you got to stay on the ground. You never want to try to block a jump shooter's shot. The pump fake is too deadly at that point. Cardinal sin is to foul the shooter.
So Rafer Alston will come in for John Lucas.
as he gets a couple of minutes.
Good minutes for John. I think what Rafer's doing is he's playing harder and then coming out and sitting down. That may be a change where Jeff Van Gundy says, instead of playing you the whole game, I'm going to give you some rest. So when you're out there, give me all you got.
It's hard to play 45, 46 minutes of playoff basketball at great intensity. Almost impossible.
Garachek gets his third and fourth points of the game. Looking to Yao. There it is on Collins. Luther Head missed another one. And Harpering with the rebound. They're really running at him, and he hasn't had anybody run at him all season long.
No, but that was an open three-pointer. It was slightly contested, but he had plenty of time to get it off.
Collins back to Garachek, and he misses. And a loose ball foul on Juwan Howard.
I've been watching the Juwan Howard and Millsap battle. They've been going at it under the boards.
Very physical, Matt. Here it is.
Just a little push underneath. It is a foul, but I'll tell you what, those guys have been banging. And the things that I've been seeing, and then that's called as a foul, amazing.
Collins. Oh, you want him to take that all night. They don't run many plays. Well, they don't run any plays for him.
And for good reason.
And that's why right there.
That spacing is still not good, fellas. No. Look at that.
He should get him off the offensive boards.
Juwan's wide open. And he missed it. Yao with the rebound. And a loose ball foul on Collins.
Officials are trying to keep this game under control. Both teams very physical. Now watch Yao on this rebound. He gets the ball and then gets fouled. Watch his teammates come pick him up. Juwan's right there to pick him up. I like that.
I like that. Shows good camaraderie and that your team is solid. They're together, even on the road, where you have to be together.
So Collins came in, gave up a foul. Now it's back to Okur again on Yao, and he held him. Yao had good position. Okur grabbed him around the waist.
Yao had position 2 feet from the basket. His eyes were big as saucers. He was just waiting for Shane Battier to get him the ball.
So both teams with 2 team fouls in the first 2 minutes of this second quarter. Luther Head to Yao Ming. Goes baseline. Oh, there it is. Oh, Luther.
Got to make your layup.
Okur. And he got underneath the basket. There's Millsap again. Millsap again. What a player.
He's their version of Chuck Hayes. He's active. He's energetic. He makes things happen.
Juwan Howard working on Millsap. And a foul on Millsap. Juwan does that occasionally. He'll stick that ball out in front of somebody, but he's so strong that force you to try to take it away.
That's a veteran move. Did you teach him that one?
Good veteran. I didn't teach him, but he's been around long enough to learn it. Juwan's a very solid player. What he's got to do is get some touches and feel comfortable in this offense, and he can help him on the offensive end.
That's the third team foul on the Jazz now. Going to the middle, Battier, tough runner. Bumped by Harpering on the way up for the shot. Boy, Battier and Harpering are having a battle, aren't they? Harpering gets it inside, backs into Shane Battier, nothing whistled. Okur from the three-point line, he misses again.
Not going to happen.
Quickly to Luther. Luther going to shoot the jumper. Yes, Luther Head. Thank you. Come join the party.
Transition offense, that's the key for Rafer and Luther Head to shoot the ball in their rhythm before the Jazz has a chance to set up defensively.
Game tied at 25. Darren Williams around it. Pick for the jumper. Darren Williams 2 for 2 from the field. No, 3 for 3 from the field now. The Jazz shooting 33%, the Rockets 48. Luther Head back to Juwan. Juwan on the drive, takes it inside, missed it, got it back, puts it up, and he's fouled by Williams. So the Rockets have already had 5 players in the scoring column, one more than the entire Game 3.
8:15 left in the second as we go back over to Bill Worrell.
Well, where you see the Rockets trailing by only 2 points, and we have not seen Tracy McGrady, except for the first few moments of the game as he gets ready to check back in. He had 2 early fouls, Clyde, and now he's back in the game.
Back in the game, and he's fresh. I like to see him attack the basket, become the playmakers, because when he's playmaking, he's making his teammates better by giving them layups and uncontested shots.
Well, Fisher has a sprained right shoulder, but they say he's going to try to play. These are the playoffs. If it was regular season, he probably would not.
Remember, he's a left-handed shooter, so the right shoulder sprain won't affect his jump shot as much as it would if it was the other.
Got that running into Yao Ming a moment ago. So it's a 1-point Jazz lead. Rockets now 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Jazz 9 for 12. Boozer working on Mutombo. Boozer lost the basketball, and a whistle and a foul is called on Luther Head. That's a 3rd team foul on the Rockets. The Jazz with 4 team fouls, and Luther with 2. Karolinko in the game along with Boozer, Williams, Okur, and Garachev. Boozer inside to Karolinko, and he missed a layup. Boy, what a struggling series Andre Karolinko is having.
That's an understatement.
McGrady now will work on Karolinko. Karolinko, great defensive player. McGrady takes it up. Tip by Mutombo. Mutombo lost it on the floor. And it's through the legs of Darren Williams. He touched it, and the Rockets get it back with 21 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, talking about Karolinko, he's a 47% shooter during the regular season. But in the playoffs, he struggled mightily. He averaged 8 points a game. He can't seem to get over a point a game.
They're going to put a fresh 24 on the shot clock for Houston. McGrady with a double team constantly. Jawan from the outside missed it. Tipped up and in by Mutombo. Remember, when Yao Ming was injured, fellas, in the middle of the season, Mutombo had some big games for the Rockets.
He averaged 11 rebounds during that stretch.
And blocked a lot of shots.
Okur hits a 3. It's only his 3rd three-pointer of the season, of the postseason. 3 for 17 now for Mehmet Okur. Luther Head back out to McGrady. McGrady way off the mark. Mutombo gets it. Back out to Rafer. Rafer sets for a 3. In and out. Tipped up and almost in by Jawan Howard. 2-point Jazz lead. 6:25 left in the second quarter. Aaron Williams gets behind the pick by Okur and hits. You can't let him run, 8 or 9 points in a row on you. And the Rockets now have got to score.
Got to get something going to the basket here.
And a foul on Karolinko, and that's the 5th team foul on the Jazz, and McGrady will go to the free throw line.
When the ball handler is faced up to the basket outside of the paint, you can't touch him. What the Jazz have been doing is they've been getting up in Tracy McGrady's space and grabbing him and holding him. Watch here. There's the arm bar right there. You're not allowed to do that. Any touching is supposed to be a foul. The officials have not been calling that this series. That's the first time I've seen it called.
Of course, Tracy is struggling from the field. He's only 1 for 6, and now he misses his first free throw. This is one of those games where he's got to get into it and lead his team. He's getting off to a slow start, but there's a lot of game left.
Better rotation for McGrady. The Rockets now 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Under 6 minutes left to play. 32-29 Jazz. Boozer takes it inside with a jump hook. Missed it. Kirilenko lost the rebound, out of bounds. Houston's ball. And a timeout charged to the Jazz. 5:45 left to play in the second quarter. Rockets down by 3. Well, the Rockets shooting 41%. The Jazz shooting 36%. Yet the Rockets trail by 3 points. Rockets have 16 rebounds, the Jazz with 17, but the difference right now, the free throw line. The Jazz have had 12 free throw attempts, the Rockets only 6, and therein lies the difference in this game. The Rockets only 1 for 8 from behind the three-point line. So the three-point woes continue for the Rockets. McGrady passes off to Austin, who's wide open. Rafer misses. Jawan lost it out of bounds.
See, those are the wide open opportunities I was talking about at the start of the show. McGrady gave that to Rafer Alston. He had plenty of time to make the open shot.
But I'm starting to think, let's quit passing it for the three-point shot. When McGrady got that rebound, go to the basket with it.
Put your nose down and take it to the rack.
I don't think the Rockets going to make any of those. I mean, it's the playoffs. They're guarding it. It's just too hard a shot for the playoffs. Okur's made one, and he misses. I mean, he was one of the leaders in the NBA in three-point shooting this year. He's made only 3. McGrady got it.
That's what he needs to do in transition before the defense is set. Take over.
32-31. Aaron Williams getting it down to Boozer. Boozer will shoot it. Over Mutombo. Mutombo gave up a lot of room there.
Mutombo's a good defender, but Boozer's so quick off the dribble. He has to respect that.
McGrady. T-Mac to the rack. Boy, I'm glad I got to say that. Let's see more of it. Kirilenko got it, and it's going to be a foul on Juwan Howard. All right, Yao Ming and Chuck Hayes will check back into the Houston lineup.
Now watch Tracy McGrady on this last play. Look, Kirilenko shades him to his right there. T-Mac just explodes to the basket. A player like T-Mac, you cannot shade him one way or the other. He's too good with either hand. That was a great job by T-Mac of recognizing that defense and taking what he could get.
Absolutely, man. He's been totally aggressive. And when he's aggressive, believe me, he has too many skills. You can't stop him. He's too quick off the dribble. He elevates too high. And he knows how to draw the foul.
Kirilenko averaging only 1 point in the first 3.5 games. And he's got one more than that. Kirilenko with his first 2 points of the game in the regular season.
Jazz playing a little zone now.
2-3 zone.
And
that'll get him out of it.
Yao Ming became the zone buster.
36-35 Jazz.
But the Rockets recognized that immediately and just destroyed that zone.
Aaron Williams. Well, if Rafer goes behind that pick, he gives Williams the jump shot, and he's hit all 5 of them. He's got 10 points. Boozer knocked it away. Matt Harpering on the ground. And a foul on Rafer Alston.
Turnovers. Turnovers on the road will kill you. Give yourself an opportunity to put up a good shot.
Yeah, Bill and I know about turnovers on the road. We've gained a lot of weight by eating a lot of turnovers.
Not apple.
Oh. I thought you liked cherry, Bill.
How about eclairs?
Oh, yeah.
How about chocolate eclairs, Clyde? You don't like those, do you?
Can't stand them.
How many did you have yesterday?
I only had 4, but that was for breakfast.
The breakfast of champions.
Matt Harpring will have one more. What a series Harpring is having. One of the best sixth men in the NBA this season. He averaged 11 points off the bench for Utah. And in this series, he's doing better than that. Harpring is almost 14 points a game. McGrady shoots it from the right elbow. And he was hit on the right elbow.
A lot of contact, no foul.
Williams back outside to Harpring. And the Jazz with their biggest lead of the game, 7 points. Jeff Van Gundy calls a timeout. 3:03 left to play in the second quarter.
Well, Bill, the Rockets have trailed in all 3 games of this series at halftime, and they're in danger of doing it again.
Yep, looks that way. 3:03 left to play. 42-35 Utah. The Utah Jazz on a 9-3 run. And since that dunk shot by Yao Ming, it's been a 6-0 run for Utah. All right, Battier, Rafer Alston, Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Chuck Hayes. Boozer matched up with Hayes. And Jaron Collins back into the game, matched up with Yao Ming. McGrady and Gordon Giricek. Yao's open. There's 3 guys around him now. He shot that fade away. And Boozer lost it out of bounds. Good hustle by Hayes.
Yao Ming talking to the official saying, hey, he tripped me on that play. Official said, I didn't see it, but I'll look next time.
Well, when you see a big 7'6" guy run into the lane sideways, somebody had to push him, trust me.
Call timber.
Blow the whistle and call something.
McGrady posting up on Giricek. There we go now. This is what you've been begging for, Clyde. Post up McGrady.
That's all they have to do. Post up McGrady. Give him spacing on the low block, and he will work miracles. Giricek has no chance to guard it. Even with the double team, he's quick enough to make something happen.
In basketball circles, that's giving your best player an opportunity to win the game. You've got to put him in positions to win.
I used to call it, along with the great Hakeem Olajuwon, Matt, giving him room to operate. Like a surgeon. Yeah,
the Rockets have to be aggressive to get to the free throw line. So far, the aggressive team has been the Jazz, as you saw by the free throw disparity. 42-37 Jazz.
The Rockets have shot way more free throws in this series.
Yep.
Clyde, do you think the officials are evening it up right now?
They're trying to, but it's still not even. we may be a little biased.
Loose ball foul is called on Shane Battier.
I don't think the officials have any idea what the free throw situation is. I think they're just calling the game. And Bill, you're right. The Jazz are more aggressive taking the ball to the basket so far.
Harpring is so much stronger than Battier. I was watching that time. Harpring just took Battier and threw him out of the lane, and then Battier got caught for reaching back.
Officials always see the second foul.
Yeah.
Whenever you never see the initiator, they always see the retaliator.
This guy right here comes from a football family. His daddy was a heck of a football talent. At Michigan, played for Bo Schembechler. So you know he's hard.
No doubt. Battle tested.
So Harpring with 8 points. Rafer taking it inside. And got it back and put it in. Great hustle by Rafer Alston to stay with it. And it's 44-39, 5-point lead. The Jazz have led by 7. The Rockets' biggest lead has been 5. 2:02 left to play.
I guess the shoulder was not hurting that bad for Fisher.
Boozer. Vicious slam dunk. Boozer with 8 points.
Utah Jazz have not only been more aggressive taking the ball to the basket, but they've been more aggressive going after the loose balls.
All right, with the post up now, they're putting Fisher on McGrady. McGrady is fouled, and it almost went in.
Just keep milking it when it's working.
Keep milking it. Even if Chuck Hayes makes a cut through the lane, give him more room to operate. Tracy McGrady, they cannot stop him on the low block, especially when he's aggressive like he is at this moment, going to the basket.
Well, would you put a bigger guy on him like Millsap if he's going to post up?
No, because then he just take Millsap outside.
Exactly. You just keep making moves, chess moves.
And Millsap is coming in for Boozer because Boozer was coming to double team T-Mac. T-Mac made him pay and drew the foul on him. So what they're going to try to do is keep Fisher on T-Mac and then double him.
That's number 2 on Boozer. Kirilenko has 2. Okur has 2. And Girichik with 2. And T-Mac now is 5 for 6 from the free throw line. He has 11 points. Yao Ming with 12.
But, guys, our leading rebounder is our point guard. Rafer Alston with 6.
Yep. You know, he's averaging 8 so far throughout the series.
Harpering with a miss and knocked out of bounds by Houston.
Another second chance opportunity created by the Jazz. The offensive boards have been key for them so far.
Fisher on the perimeter, picked up by McGrady. 1:22 left to play. Williams tried to pass it outside, and Fisher ended up getting a basket. That's a tough break for the Rockets.
The Jazz seem to be coming up with every loose ball.
All right, McGrady wants it, posting up again. He's got it. He'll work on Fisher. Little bump by Fisher. It didn't stop him. Millsap tackled Yao Ming. Now the Jazz get it up the court in a hurry. Boy, it is a physical game. 49 seconds left. Jaron Collins. Darren Williams. Jumper. Tough shot. Tipped by Collins. Rafer's got it. Shane goes down.
Shane's been on the floor at least 10 times tonight.
McGrady gets by Fisher. McGrady to the middle. Sets up Shane. Extra pass to Alston. Down to McGrady. McGrady to Hayes. Yes! 27 seconds left, and the Rockets are down by 3.
You see what happens when you get McGrady going on the low post. He makes his teammates better because he's going to score, but he's going to create opportunities for guys like Chuck Hayes and Shane Battier. Get him the ball.
The Rockets seem like they're playing with a little more urgency now. Difference of about 3 seconds. Shot clock, game clock. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Williams taking it inside for 2. My goodness, that was easy. 5 seconds left. Down to 3. Down to 2. Hayes has to shoot it.
Wait a minute.
Well, McGrady ended up with 13 points. 12 for Yao Ming. And at the half, it's the Jazz 50, the Rockets 45. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break.
Rockets led by 2 after 1. Utah outscoring Houston 31-24 in the second. And they lead at halftime by 5. Utah on top 50-45. Kevin Eschenfelder with you in our FSN Houston studios. Time now for the Lexus halftime report. You know, Juwan Howard in his 13th NBA season. The secret to his longevity has been his workout program. Juwan invited us to, well, take in one of his workouts. Take a look.
As competitors, as players, the guys who perform out there on the court, you really get upset and frustrated the fact that you felt you could have played better. You always look yourself in the mirror and say, what I could have done to help the team, what more could I have done to help us win that game. And you play that back in your mind over and over. Truly, when it's a 7-game series, you have to, whatever happened the night before, when the game, of course, didn't go your way, you got to see what you can do to improve and move on to the next game. Hopefully, correct your mistakes and go out there and play a better game and have a better performance. And so, in preparation, we always, watch film, see, dissect, and see, make the corrections that we feel that can be made out there on the floor. Also, preparation goes for maybe getting massages. Some players choose to do that. Others choose to, of course, work out, in the weight room, get some work in the weight room, try to, keep their body strong and fresh. Coming to the weight room is something I always do. I always work out in the off season and also during the season. I try to stay, strong, take care of my body so I can stay injury-free. And truly, during the season, I always like to get in the weight room, even if I'm on the road or at home. But now, since we're talking about I'm on the road, just to try to keep my body fresh and be ready to go for the next game. So whenever my name is called, I can be ready to respond and hopefully give a good performance. Well, in a situation like this, you have to stay mentally tough. And when you're on the road, we all have to, of course, come together because we're a small group that, 18,000 people, along with, the Utah Jazz, are all against you. And so this is a time when we come together as a collective unit, stay mentally tough and be ready to go for the next game and go out there and just play even harder and see what we can do to improve game after game.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. The Jazz lead by 5 at halftime, and the Rockets just playing the way they always play in this series. They've always trailed at the half. At home, they were able to come back and win, so they need more of Yao Ming. They've been able to get him open in the middle early. Yeah, the Rockets post-up has been very effective. Yao's got 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He also has 5 rebounds, but in the post, he has been very effective. They've been late double-teaming him, and with Collins, they've been playing him one-on-one. So Collins can't stop him. If Yao takes his time, he gets a shot that he wants. Great entry passes are important as well. That's effectiveness for Yao.
Well, you look at Tracy McGrady, he's 4 for 10. Here he is working out on the low block. 4 for 10 with 13 points. And this is how he did it. Posting, he's aggressive. Look at him going to the basket, creating the foul, almost getting the three-point play. Again, Fisher is too small. Turn, jumper, nothing but net. You got to milk that. Get Yao and Tracy on the low block, and they can win this game tonight.
Difference in the game right now has been free throws. They have made 7 more free throws than Houston. Do you look with McGrady posting up that to change?
I think it's going to be a big change because it makes you more aggressive. When you're posting, you can't settle for jumpers. Take the ball to the basket, and if you do, you get more free throws.
And also on the defensive end, stop fouling.
Well, that's easy. Well, that's it. The Rockets are going to win. Matt predicts it. Stop fouling. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
In the first half stats, the Rockets 45%, Utah 42%. The Rockets only 1 for 10 behind the three-point line. Now, keep in mind, over a third of Houston's offense this year came from behind the arc. They averaged 8 threes a game. When you take that away from Houston, you take a big part of their offense, and that's what the Jazz have been able to do. The Jazz have made 7 more free throws than the Houston Rockets, but as Matt pointed out, the Rockets doing a better job in the paint.
Yeah, 20 to 18 points in the paint. That's the first time this series the Rockets have outscored in the paint. Let's head over to Bart.
All right, Bill had a chance to chat with Tom Thibodeau coming out of the locker room, and he said that they loved what the Rockets did in the first quarter offensively, which was up-tempo, getting the ball up court faster, getting it into Yao Ming in the low post a lot faster. They even got a couple of transition baskets, which seemed to help Rafer Alston. Defensively, they felt like they just lost their intensity in that second quarter, and they want to get back to that. They want to be scrambling for loose balls and challenging every pass.
They're going to have to do it because this crowd is one of the loudest in the NBA. This arena is built in such a way that the stands are right on top of you.
And that's the way it should be.
Now, Bill talked about the three-point shooting. Now, tonight, 1 for 10. Take a look at the season percentage, 37%. Pretty good percentage. Games 2 and 1 through 3, 27%, but tonight, abysmal.
Well, throughout the series, they're 20 for 80 in three-point shots. That's pretty dismal. Take it to the basket.
Darren Williams had a good first half with 12 points, getting it into Mehmet Okur. Off-balance hits.
Yeah, if he gets rolling like he played in the regular season,
look out.
He's going to give the Jazz a huge lift.
Again, they're posting up McGrady. A little too far out. Fisher on him. McGrady turns inside, goes baseline, back to Rafer. They picked him up on a double team. That leaves Battier wide open, and he missed. Well, there's the strategy. You double team whoever's on the post. The Rockets are going to get a good look at the three-point line. You just got to make it. Williams misses, and Yao with the rebound.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tracy McGrady will deliver the ball to the open shooters, but they got to knock down shots. So far in this series, they've not been able to make the open shots.
Hayes has it knocked away by Darren Williams. Williams, Fisher, and he missed it. Tipped up and in by Boozer. You've got to hustle down, and that's what Boozer did.
You can't give up. You got to continue to play hard, even if you think the guy's going to make a layup. You got to run hard.
Derek Fisher not being able to knock down the right-handed layup because of the shoulder injury.
Yao Ming working on Okur. Takes him in the air. A fall away. Oh, that's too hard a shot.
See, he had Okur in the air. When you have him in the air, you got to go by him. You don't fade away from him.
Well, you make a positive move toward the defender. He went away from it. You're never going to get that call if you go away.
No, right now, the Jazz game plan is working to perfection.
They seem to come out in the second half with a little bit more fire, a little bit more sense of purpose than the Rockets have to this point.
Well, the Rockets did at home. Rockets dominated the third and fourth quarters at home, but not here. Rafer misses, and Yao with a rebound. Missed it.
You don't want to finger roll in the paint in the playoffs.
Go throw that down. It should dunk that.
Yeah, tear the rim off.
Not going to get many open looks like that.
Aaron Williams. Jazz have all the answers. 6-0 run by Utah.
Jazz have opened up an 11-point lead as we go back over to Bill, Matt, and Clyde.
All right, Bart, thank you so much. Right now, the Rockets have fallen behind by 11 points, and that's the biggest lead of the Jazz in this game. Mathieu looking for McGrady. Baron Williams. Baron Williams to the basket, draws a foul from Rafer Alston. I'll tell you what, fellas, the Jazz are playing with a much bigger heart than the Rockets right now. They just love this game. This defense is just suffering the Rockets.
The great defense by Karolinko there. And Darren Williams on the break, forcing the action, picks up the foul. And trust me, the more they play well, the louder this crowd gets. And so the Rockets right now are in a danger zone.
Rockets, to me, look, I don't know. They look like they're stuck in cement.
Well, they've gone into their shell. This crowd has kind of rattled them. The defense from the Jazz has been stifling, and they've gone into their shell. You've got to come out of your shell and punch them back.
That's a good point, Matt, because you got to have that us against the world mentality on the road. Right now, I don't see it.
Yao Ming turns baseline, hit it. All in one motion. He got wide open then, fellas.
He could have walked in for the layup.
He didn't know it. We played just over 3 minutes into the third quarter. Oh, Karolinko threw it right to Hayes. Now taking it in over Okur for 2 more.
There's 3 steals now for Chuck Hayes so far.
So back-to-back baskets by the Rockets get it back to a 9-point game. Williams, short.
Is anybody running with him?
Rafer's wide open, looks down at the line, takes a shot, misses. What are the Rockets now from the 3-point line? There's a loose ball foul on Chuck Hayes.
1 for 12. Let's take a look at how Yao got open earlier. The last possession, it was a pick and roll. Here comes Yao with T-Mac, and then Yao's going to roll. Watch Carlos Boozer on this play. He's the guy who's got to play center field. He's guarding Chuck Hayes. He doesn't roll to Yao. Look, he's turning his head. Carlos Boozer made the mistake. Rockets took advantage of it.
Okur on Hayes. Inside with the right-handed hook shot. He's just so much bigger than Chuck.
Even when a guy's struggling from the field, he can always make a point-blank shot. So you got to bring help if a guy gets that deep in your paint.
Okur in double figures tonight. Down to Yao again. Okur knocks it away. Fisher, Williams. Basket counts, and the foul on Battier.
Again, the Jazz more aggressive on this fast break. Good defense by Okura, and then they just turn around and run it down the Rockets' throat. Shane didn't get his feet set. What a great shot by Williams. He's pumped up. That's the kind of plays that get you the lead in this series.
Absolutely, Matt. But if you notice, Yao had the ball coming from his waistline. He's got to get that ball up over his head. Easy turnover.
Darren Williams with 19 points now, a new career high for him in his first NBA playoffs. And Okura knocks it away from Yao. Yao really having trouble holding on to the basketball.
That was the same play that I just illustrated before. The Rockets trying to go to it, but T-Mac gave it to Yao way too early.
Jeff Van Gundy feels the need to call a 22nd timeout. He feels this game slipping away. Fellas, this is a crucial time of the game now because it's a 14-point Jazz lead. And if the Rockets don't start now coming back, it could be over.
It could be over. Because this crowd is getting more rambunctious each and every second that goes by. And it's pumping this team up to the point where their energy level is doubling that of the Houston Rockets.
So what you're saying is this game really, between two evenly matched teams, home court has been the difference.
Home court has been and will continue to be the difference.
And that's why you want the home court advantage.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, the Rockets will be home Monday night in Toyota Center. That game on FSN Houston, and it starts at 7.
You think Yao looks determined? He may be the only guy with that look on his face. If he's the only guy, give him the ball.
Give him the ball anyway. They have no answer for him, especially when they isolate the post-ups with Yao Ming.
McGrady to Yao, taking it inside for 2. He just powered his way inside over a double team.
T-Mac, Yao pick and roll. They're doubling T-Mac, and that's getting Yao some space to operate.
Yao with 18 points to lead the Rockets. T-Mac with only 13. Kicked ball by Battier. Shot clock still at 14. Okura with a jumper. Now the tough thing about Okura now, it looks like he's starting to come to the party, and that could be tough even when they go back to Houston.
You're right. He's in his gym. He's in his familiar surroundings.
McGrady misses. Yao takes it inside, has it blocked. Gets it back. Back outside to Rafer Alston. McGrady. Boy, Yao is just wanting everything. Double team. McGrady flashes in. Fisher knocks it out. Okura for a 3. Missed it. Boy, this place would have exploded had that gone in. McGrady answers with a 3. T-Mac. That's only the second three-pointer of the game for the Rockets. 2 for 13 from behind the arc for Houston. The Rockets had 4 players with 100 or more threes this season, first time in franchise history. But they're really struggling here in this series. Boozer!
Boozer likes to go to his left hand, but he's so good he can go right. That time Yao took away his left. He was able to counter with his right hand.
He's so quick and so strong off the dribble, so athletic. You got to bring help.
Knocks it out of bounds. You know, fellas, I got to pay a compliment to Derek Fisher. He's shutting McGrady. He's getting some help when McGrady takes off, but Fisher's doing a lot of it one-on-one. He is playing some great defense on McGrady.
Well, they rotate their defenders, so they've got a fresh defender on them every 2 or 3 minutes.
Boozer with a miss and Hayes with a rebound.
And Fisher's a good position defender, even though I still think that's a huge advantage for the Rockets.
There's Fisher again on McGrady, and he fouled him that time. He probably fouls him every time. But, you know, Derek's very strong. He's really a strong little guy. And here's Luther Head coming in now.
You know, typically the smaller man gets away with a little bit more on a larger offensive player. So he can use more contact to his advantage. And that's why Tracy's got to be extremely aggressive and take the ball to the basket.
Okur will go out when Yao goes out, so Mutombo and Collins are matched up. Luther Head is in the game. Picked up by Kirilenko. And another whistle by Fisher. Another foul.
See, Fisher is like a little fire plug down there. He's about 6 feet tall. He's got a much lower center of gravity than Tracy McGrady. So when Tracy's trying to back him down, Fisher just holding his ground. But that time, 2 hands in the back. It's an automatic call.
See, now they've already switched. Kirilenko is now guarding McGrady.
Then they bring in Gearcheck off the
double, the triple team, and the turnover.
Boozer. And a foul on Hayes.
Boozer just too big, too strong for Chuck Hayes down deep in the paint.
Number 4 for Hayes. Number 4 for the Rockets. Howard is number 4.
Fourth foul on Chuck Hayes, and the Rockets have already 4 fouls, so the Rockets are in the penalty with 4:49 left. The Jazz have been whistled for only 2 team fouls in this quarter. Carlos Boozer. He's averaging just at 25 points a game in this series. He averaged about 21 a game in the regular season. He has 13 tonight. Much more balanced scoring by the Jazz.
And the Jazz continue to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's 19 of 23, 83% free throw shooting for the Jazz. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the playoffs so far, but not tonight.
You know, the Rockets have only scored 9 points.
McGrady.
Well, that makes it 11 in the quarter. Game 3, they had 25 points the entire second half.
68-56. Rockets down by 12. They need to make a run at the end of this quarter. I've never seen the Jazz go to the basket this much in the first 3 games. They have really been aggressive, especially that young man right there, Darren Williams. He's going for points number 20 and 21.
He's had an outstanding game so far. He's been extremely aggressive off the dribble, but he started off by making 3 or 4 jumpers, and when that happens, you have a little bit more freedom in your game.
He was the 3rd player taken in the first round 2 years ago, and a few eyebrows shot up when that happened. I remember some general managers thinking that was too high to take him, but he really has done well, and he worked with John Stockton this summer, didn't he, Matt?
Yeah, and what the Jazz do is they draft players that fit in their system. Jerry Sloan has been here 19 years. He runs the same plays, so they draft guys that they know are going to succeed in their system.
Well, Darren Williams is 6'3". He's got a lot of great size for a point guard, and he is a true point.
And T-Mac fits into anybody's system. He's fouled before the shot.
In college, Darren Williams was known for taking the toughest offensive player on the court and shutting him down. So here's a tough, aggressive point guard who can also score.
Harpering will check into the game now. Matt Harpering with 8 points in the first half in 14 minutes.
Another guy who fits the Utah Jazz system perfectly.
Now Fisher will switch back to McGrady. Harpering will pick up Luther Head. Juwan Howard has checked into the game. To McGrady. McGrady with the jumper, missed it. 6 of 15 from the field for T-Mac. Darren Williams. Rockets were chasing him with 2 players and couldn't catch him. And Williams with 23 points. That's a career high as he keeps building on it. Blocked it, but there was a foul before the block.
Well, I like that Luther was aggressive on that play. He's got to continue to do that. You see Juwan Howard talking to him.
Luther's got to get on the scoreboard. He was the Rockets' primary threat offensively off the bench during the regular season. And in this series, he hasn't been able to get off. I think a couple of baskets will do Luther a world of good.
Hayes and Lucas will check into the lineup for Houston. So the Rockets going to their extra small lineup. Howard's the tallest player in the game. Luther gets one out of two. 72-57. The Jazz have led by as many as 16. Harpering. And the foul on T-Mac. Fellas, it's too easy.
It's great execution by the Jazz. All they're doing is pinning down, cross-screening, and Harpering is coming off wide open.
Take a look at Harpering coming off this pick. Here's the pick. Now watch Harpering. Now stop it there. You see how Harpering, he seals T-Mac. Now let it go. That's what gives him the space inside there. Instead of just cutting, he stops, gets T-Mac on his back. That's years and years of running that same play, knowing how to get yourself open off that screen.
Also, Matt, you got to put more pressure on the passer. Boozer's just sitting there ready to deliver the pass. Chuck Hayes has got to get up in his face and make that a tough pass to make.
Harpering signed a free agent contract this past summer with the Utah Jazz. This is his 9th year out of Georgia Tech. He's a good one.
I'd say his face embodies what the Utah Jazz are all about.
That's right.
Toughness.
Juwan, in and out, won't go. His shooting woes continue. Juwan Howard, 0 for 4 tonight. And a whistle. 3-second defensive violation called on Houston. So far here in the third quarter, it's the Jazz outscoring Houston 23-12 to take charge of the game. 73-57 Utah. Let's take a look at tonight's Progressive Insurance Above the Rim replay.
It's Ray for Austin. I'd like to see more execution that's crisp and sharp and keeping the ball moving. It's too stagnant. Giving the Jazz an opportunity to double and triple team the ball.
The key to these series in Houston, the Rockets taking charge of the third quarter in games 1 and 2. Here in games 3 and 4, the Jazz have taken charge. The Rockets scored only 10 points in game 3 in the third quarter and have only 12 tonight.
And the Jazz have 24 here in this quarter so far.
Boozer pops out. He's wide open. Rockets really look confused on defense, too. They look like they haven't seen these plays before. Whoop. Boozer throws it out of bounds. Rockets get a break.
What a great hustle by Derek Fisher. It embodies the energy of the Jazz at this moment.
Well, they were just outworking Houston. I'm really impressed.
Well, Bill, you talk about the Rockets being confused on defense. They were confused on offense on that play. John Lucas gives Luther Head the ball. Luther's supposed to pass it inside. He tried to throw it back to the top. That's not the play.
There it is again. They're going to try it again.
Offensive foul on Yao Ming. His second foul of the game.
An offensive foul. Yao Ming. His second.
Take a look at Yao inside. Here he is, battling against Jaron Collins. And now he tries to post up. Oh, come on now. As much contact as there's been in this game, and they call that? Come on now.
That's hard to believe.
Well, they just evened it up, fellas. They call Harpering for an offensive foul.
Nice ball back, Gundy.
I guess you would call that a makeup.
Yep.
There's the turnovers right there. Jazz doing an excellent job of handling the basketball tonight.
Bogdan Guricek now takes his turn on McGrady with help from Collins. John Lucas turns the corner and throws it away.
I think think you're seeing a couple guys who haven't had much playing time this season. Those are mistakes you can handle in the beginning of the season, but you can't handle those in the playoffs.
Absolutely. You got to know exactly what your offense is during the playoffs. You got to have recognition, and take nothing away from John. It's tough for him to come into this situation and try to run this team. They were falling apart before he got in the game.
Yeah, good point.
Collins. Fisher, tough shot. Air ball. 1:17 left to play. Rockets can make a little run now to make it interesting for the fourth quarter. They've got to get going. Down by 19 points. Down, baseline missed. That's all the Rockets are getting. This defense has been stifling by the Utah Jazz. Harpering. Harpering's a little too strong for McGrady.
There's been a lot of contact, and to call that, McGrady is befuddled, but I think that's number 4 on Tracy McGrady. 4 fouls.
Yep.
So he had foul trouble in the first half, had to sit down. Now Shane Battier is going to come back in for him here in the second half.
So T-Mac, 29 minutes, 6 of 15 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He has 18 points. Yao Ming with 18 points. But the only other Rocket is Rafer Alston with 9. And that's it.
That's it. How many times can we say that's it?
Yep. Yeah, they're storming at Yao Ming.
Well, now the Rockets' offense is so predictable.
Yeah.
They're sending 2 or 3 guys on the catch on the post-ups.
Yeah, the Jazz, give the Jazz a lot of credit with their defense. They mix up their looks. They change who's guarding T-Mac. They guard Yao one-on-one at times. They come on the dribble sometimes. Now they're coming right on the pass because no other Rocket can score. So the Utah Jazz defense has really taken over this series.
But, Matt, you can't change what you've done all year, can you?
No, you can't.
If you're the Rockets.
No. You got to, good point. You got to continue to do what got you here. And that's make shots from the outside.
Yeah.
But that's not happening in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see a breakdown because of a lack of confidence in their shooting.
Well, the Rockets are 2 for 13 from behind the arc for 15%, and the Jazz have taken only 5 3-pointers. Medium-range jumpers, that's what the Jazz are good at. Girachek's a good medium-range shooter. Harpering, Fisher. They're getting the shots they're normally taking. There's Luther Head. That's his shot. Yeah. He made one.
Yeah, Bill, you're right on. You can't change in the playoffs who you are. You've got to continue to play the basketball that got you there. I'm sure Jeff Van Gundy would love to have more execution and harder play.
I say you got to make adjustments. You shouldn't go to an all-out makeover.
Yes.
11 seconds down to 10. Ball deflected. Rockets have 8 seconds. 7 seconds. Oh, my goodness. A bundle of 2-on-1. Girachek now at the other end for 3. The Utah Jazz in the third quarter on a 13-5 run. And the biggest lead of the game, 21 points. The Utah Jazz with 64 points in the last 2 quarters. That's the biggest output for the Jazz in this series, and they have taken charge of this game.
Well, I tell you, this crowd is definitely into it, and it is a factor. But the Rockets, on the other hand, have got to regain some momentum, if nothing else, to start Game 5. You got to execute offensively. You got to look like you are composed, and you are not afraid of being in this building.
whatever you do now in the fourth quarter, you got to build for the next game. I think that's what you're talking about, Clyde. You got to get a little confidence. This Jazz team has come out, held serve at home, played some great basketball, but the Rockets played great in games 1 and 2. So, get some confidence here in the fourth quarter.
All I can say to the Red Rowdies back home in Houston, you're going to have to take it up a notch. A couple of notches. Because this crowd here has been absolutely unbelievable. And the Rockets are going to have to reestablish the home court Monday night in Houston. If this is indeed a home court series, the Rockets do have the edge. I remember the old coaches used to say the series never started till the visiting team won a game. Hasn't happened so far.
Hasn't happened so far. It's been very even. Both teams doing well on their home court.
Hasn't been even lately.
I agree.
Rockets somewhere, Clyde, are going to have to find a way to get Tracy McGrady easier shots. I tell you, they're contesting everything he puts up, and Yao's called for a loose ball foul, his third foul of the game. It's just really hard for Tracy to generate any offense.
Well, he's 6 for 16 tonight. He has only had one easy shot by my count.
Look at Millsap. You know, as bad as the rookie crop was this year, I'd have to give Millsap some Rookie of the Year votes.
The way he's playing in this series, he certainly warrants some votes.
Yeah, second round choice, and that's traveling on Gordon Giricek. Brandon Roy was the runaway Rookie of the Year. Borgnani in Toronto got some votes. Adam Morrison did not have a great... But I tell you, Paul Millsap has had a spectacular series coming off that bench. Shane Battier from the corner hits a three. That's only the fourth three-pointer in this game for the Rockets, but that's an improvement. It's up to 27% now. Darren Collins giving it up to Darren Williams. Harpering. Utah's really loose. They're really free-stroking it right now.
But they're feeding off the energy from this crowd. It's making them looser. The energy for the Rockets is tightening them up.
Absolutely, man. Reverse effects. And as we stated earlier, the Rockets have got to get some confidence and let this team know, even though we had a bad quarter, it's not going to continue that way. Because a blowout can have serious ramifications in a Game 5.
That's a good point you make, Clyde. If the Rockets could win this fourth quarter, at least they'd salvage a little something here. Millsap almost made that. He went up under Yao Ming.
He looked like Ronnie Millsap in that shot.
Well, he didn't see anything.
He couldn't see. Yao was all over him.
Kirilenko and Okur will check back into the game. So it'll be Kirilenko, Harpering, Williams, Millsap, and Okur. Rafer out on Darren Williams. Williams has had him a heck of a game tonight. Kirilenko inside to Harpering. Boy, Harpering just threw McGrady around and got that layup, and McGrady commits his fifth foul of the game. Hey, babe, you got to want it.
Yeah, Matt Harpering has been doing this all series long. He cuts to the basket. Watch him just cut in front of T-Mac. Get the position that he wants. He's fired up. That's what you call playing with heart. That was my third key of the game.
Moving without the ball. T-Mac looked away for a split second, and before he knew it, he was being pinned down by Matt Harper. That's the way he plays. You got to know that's his strength.
And he goes and gets the miss.
And then he's upset with himself for missing the free throw. What a player Matt Harper is.
Kirilenko posting up. To Okur, sets for three. Missed it. Kirilenko, another opportunity. The Jazz just really out hustling the Rockets right now for everything.
Sometimes when you hustle, you get lucky as well. That time they were in the right place at the right time.
Aaron Williams missed it. Yao tried to fall back. Millsap knocked it out of bounds. Chuck Hayes will come in. And right now, with 8:57 left to play, the Utah Jazz are competing, and they're winning. 8:57 left to play in the game. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch.
Well, it's Yao Ming against Mehmet Okur. You see, Yao's had a pretty nice game, 20-9. Okur has finally come alive for the Jazz in this series, but 8 for 15 for Yao. Clyde, does he need more shots?
He needs a lot more shots because he and T-Mac should get 20-25 shots minimum per game. And that's not including free throw attempts.
Yeah. Give the Utah Jazz defense a lot of credit. They have figured out a way to make every shot the Rockets take a difficult shot.
Well, Yao Ming and Tracy have taken over half of Houston's shots in this game. McGrady out to Shane Battier, and another miss by Houston.
Look at Okur bringing it down court. That's what happened when things are going good.
Everybody thinks he's a point center.
Exactly.
Aaron Williams out to Okur. And there's the difference. They're passing it outside. They're hitting. Rockets are passing it outside. They're missing.
That's been the story for the last game and 3 quarters.
And what's discouraging is the Rockets are having their best shooting game of the series so far, over 40%. They've been in the 30s the first 3 games. But the Jazz are shooting 47%.
Throughout the regular season, the Jazz were a very good field goal percentage team. As a team, 48%.
Millsap with a bad miss, trying to shoot it over Yao Ming. Rafer repositions, misses.
You see what he did just then? He pump fake, let the defense go by him, and then take the ball to the basket. That's what they got to do more of going forward in this series.
He did that a couple of times in the first quarter with success. 7:05 left to play in the game. 5 on the shot clock. Mehmet Okur hit. Well, I was afraid that he was going to find his shot tonight, and he has. And that could be very difficult for the Rockets coming home Monday night because he's been misfiring at home, and there's Kirilenko with a foul. Harpering will come into the game. Millsap will go out.
I tell you what, Bill, it's a lot easier to find your range when you're up by 20 points.
There again, Matt, I don't know if you can overcome that. The Rockets have relied on their starters all season long. In fact, the Rockets were dead last in bench productivity this year.
Yeah, so it's not unusual that the bench is not scoring a lot, but in the playoffs, not only does your bench have to play better, but so do your superstars.
Aaron Williams, Boozer, and an offensive foul on Boozer.
Think about it, guys. When you talk about your bench and you're talking about the Houston Rockets, you're only talking about 2 guys. You're talking about Luther Head and Juwan Howard.
For points.
For points. If Mutombo comes in and scores, it's a bonus.
So you got 2 starters. Battier has 7 and Hayes has 2. So that's 9 points out of 2 of your starters. And Austin has 12.
Glad you talk about Luther and Juwan. Regular season averages.
Traveling on Yao Ming.
Offensive foul on Yao.
Okay, that's 4 fouls on Yao Ming.
But Juwan and Luther, their regular season average, they average 19 points a game between the 2 of them.
Exactly. and you haven't seen that in this series so far. It's because they're not getting the same continuity, the same consistency that they get in the regular season.
Not getting the same looks either.
Exactly. Not making them either. But this is the playoffs. You got to up your level of play in every area of the game.
Harpering. What a player. Matt Harpering in 22 minutes tonight has 17 points, and he has created havoc on defense. Shane Battier hits a three-pointer. So Shane with 10 points.
He's got 3 threes, so good for Shane here in this fourth quarter to get some shooting confidence, which will help in Game 5.
Absolutely. That's all they can bank on right now.
Well, we keep talking. There's O'Toole. Missed a three. We keep talking, of course, about them being challenged at the three-point line, but they're coming off of Shane and Hayes when they're in the game to guard and double-team Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady.
Basically, they're not guarding Chuck Hayes and Shane.
Oh, basket by Chuck. Great move as he's fouled on the play, and he'll get a free throw when we come back. Timeout, 5:03 left to play. And the Utah Jazz on the way to sending this series back to Houston, all tied up. 20-point lead by the Jazz. Time to look at tonight's Gatorade Endurance player.
And that's Yao Ming. He's had 34 minutes, 20 points in tonight's game. He's had a tough time of it, but he's continuing to try to impose his will on the Jazz in the paint. He plays with a lot of heart, a lot of guts. Obviously, they've had far too many turnovers. They've had 14 so far tonight. But Yao has given it the best effort of any Rocket on the floor, in my opinion.
All right, remember Monday night, we'll have Game 5 on FSN Houston HD. So you guys are going to have to wear some makeup.
Hey, we look good without it.
Absolutely.
At least we think so.
We had jump shots. That makes up for makeup, Bill.
Let's hope the Rockets look better in HD on Monday night. Woo.
Well, the reason you fight so hard, isn't it, Clyde, in the regular season for the home court advantage, is for the home court advantage. And if the Rockets come back and whole serve Monday night.
Good point, Bill. All they've done, the Jazz here, if they continue to go on and win this game, which it looks like they will, is hell served. They haven't done anything special. Now it's going to be up to the Rockets to do the same on Monday night.
Although they have showed a formula now of how to beat Houston. And that's got to give them a tremendous amount of confidence going back Monday.
Yeah, the Jazz play a very solid defense. They don't help a lot. They don't double team a lot. There's an offensive foul on Boozer. But they play great man-to-man defense. They just take the challenge of who I'm guarding. I'm going to try to stop him, stay in front of him, so they don't have to help a lot.
And there's Boozer continuing to lower his shoulder as he draws another offensive foul.
Not very many teams in this league can play straight-up man-to-man defense like the Utah Jazz.
McGrady with a floater, sure.
I agree with that, Matt. But it really helps when your other players on the team, perimeter players, are really struggling from the field.
And Yao Ming has picked up his 5th foul of the game. I don't think the Rockets have slowed Darren Williams one bit tonight.
No, Darren Williams has been the difference maker in this game. He's got 23 points, 7 assists so far. He's directed the show. He's played great defense. He has been their leader on the floor all night long.
And Harpering coming off the bench with 17 in 24 minutes. Those two guys have really been getting the job done. Yao will sit down with 5 fouls.
Yeah, I think their night is over. T-Mac and Yao check out. So, Clyde, at this point in the game, 4 minutes left, you're down by 20 points. Your big two are on the bench. What do the guys on the court need to do?
What they need to do, Matt, is they need to get really physical and let the Jazz know if that's the way you're going to play, we'll see you in Game 5. I'd put Mutombo out there with Chuck and Juwan and play beat-em-up basketball. But that's what I would do, man.
Shane Battier on the miss, and Okur with the rebound.
Well, you got to do something to get the Jazz attention. You can't just let them roll over you in this game and feel like they've got it their way.
And they're going to continue to do that.
Well, fellas, we got 3.5 minutes left, and they have rolled over the Rockets. Now, there's Rafer. Now, that's what you're talking about. That's great hustle by Rafer Alston. Great hustle.
Yeah, we're not talking about going out and being flagrant or doing something stupid.
Right.
We're talking about just being very physical, compete, play hard, and if you happen to knock somebody down, don't pick them up.
Don't pick them up. Hard-nosed playoff basketball. Always keeping it clean. Good sportsmanship is always appreciated, Bill.
Juwan Howard misses. Boy, Juwan's 0 for 5 tonight. Just a humbling experience for him in this series. He just cannot get going. He is now 2 for 19 in this series?
Absolutely. 2 for 19. And he hadn't got any kind of rhythm offensively.
2:49 left to play. We're coming back to Houston Monday night. Get ready, fans. The Rockets need your help. So the Utah Jazz have come back to Salt Lake City, and spurred on by this enthusiastic gathering tonight, they have eaten this series up here with 2:49 left to play. Vasilis Spanoulis will be in the game with Luther Head now, and John Lucas, Juwan Howard, and Jake Sakalidis.
Is that the Grecian formula out there?
That's it.
Spanoulis to Sakalidis.
That's it. Kirilenko, when you talk about having series you just as soon forget. Kirilenko with 3 points, looking for 4. He has been lost, but the Jazz have had great help from everybody else. The bench for the Jazz outscored Houston's bench 33-0 in Game 3. They've outscored them tonight 31-9. So, fellas, that's 64-9 over the last 2 games.
Hard to overcome that.
Look at, to get their hands on everything. It looks like the Jazz are playing with 6 players.
And the thing is, in the playoffs, I think the other team knows your plays as well as you do.
So the Jazz don't do anything crazy on defense. They don't get out of position. They're constantly helping and rotating and knowing where they're supposed to go on the court.
So Williams and Boozer go out of the game. Williams with 25, Boozer with 15. Their night is over. Traveling is called on John Lucas, the third. Steal by John. And Spanoulis. And it's followed by Juwan Howard. Good hustle by the Rockets.
Remaining 2 minutes.
Ron Brewer in the game to Millsap for 2.
He's so good around that basket.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot of strength and he knows how to use his body for position, but he's got some great touch, too.
Last player they drafted out of Louisiana Tech still lives here. Good friend of yours, Clyde, Karl Malone.
Karl Malone, he has homes all over the place, but they had so much success, they went back to the well, Bill.
And Jake Sakalidis with a good offensive rebound, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
The thing is, Millsap may not be a Karl Malone. It's too early to tell, but he's darn good in his own right.
Kirilenko will check out of the game, and Rafael Araujo will check into the game.
Well, you've seen Golden State, Matt Barnes started the Mohawk in the playoffs. Well, Araujo is following it up with his hairdo. Take a look at that. That's some sweet hair there. I wish I had hair like that. Clyde Clyde, would you wear your hair like that?
It looks like G.I. Joe hair.
He's got the kung fu grip.
I hate to tell you guys, but you can't wear your hair any.
I don't have any.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know what you're thinking about wearing.
Shame on you guys.
In fact, come to think of it, it's about the only thing I got you guys don't have is hair.
You got a nice golf swing. Oh, wait, Clyde does too. How long does that drive today, Clyde? 375?
It was wind aided downhill.
Yeah, right. It was hit very large.
1:02 left to play in the game. So tonight's Landry signature group, Rockets player of the game, Yao Ming with 20 points and 9 rebounds. Not a happy camper right now.
No, what's going through his mind right now is, what can I do for Game 5 to make things better? I think each and every Rocket needs to sit there and think about that. What can they do better to help their team?
And the answer is, do everything you do, but do it a little bit better.
Yeah, don't come out of your game. Yeah, don't do something you can't do, but what you can do, make sure you do that.
Absolutely, because you're not going to remake your game in the playoffs. You got to do what got you here, but just do everything a little crisper, a little bit better, a little bit more attention to detail.
All right, let me ask you, Clyde. The Rockets staggered the Jazz, but they got up off the canvas and they fought back, and now it's a tied series. That game Monday night could really be a big, big game in this series.
Good point, Bill. I think that will be the difference maker in this series.
Because at least you guarantee a Game 7. Well, there you see something the Rockets haven't been able to do, and that's get an uncontested layup. Spanoulis, of course, getting it on the reserves. I've always thought for the home team, Game 5 is the most crucial because that will guarantee a Game 7. So the Rockets must win Monday night because they have not played well in this building all year.
And the Utah Jazz were 31-10 in this building during the regular season.
Spanoulis to Juwan, count the basket.
Spanoulis off the bench with energy. I tell you, I like his attitude. I always said I think Spanoulis is a fine player. I'd like to see more of him.
And he's tough.
Physically, he's tough. He's tough mentally, and he's proven himself in Europe, and now he gets a chance in the NBA.
So do you think these last couple minutes buy him some time in Game 5?
No.
We'll see in Game 5.
I just don't think, Jeff, look at the hustle by Luther Head.
I don't think the Jazz knew it was just a one-shot free throw.
They didn't. They went to sleep. And so the Luther Head gets the basket. 12.7 left. It's 98-85, so the score will look a little more respectable, but the Jazz really put this one away in the third quarter, outscoring Houston 33-17. And that's the ball game. So the Jazz even it up. Rockets win the first two at home. Jeff Van Gundy's got some questions. Will his team have the answers? Rockets will travel back to Houston tomorrow. And we've got Game 5 coming your way Monday night in Houston. The series is all even at 2 wins apiece. Final score, 98-85.